Salutations, everybody. This is T-Tron Plays Games, and today it's time for more, yes, even more, PsiloSybil. This is the alpha build that was given to me by Bad Vertex, the developer of this game, to kind of take for a test run, so shoutouts once again to Bad Vertex for allowing me to play this as early as I am. And in this video, it's time to take a look at the level named Mystic Castle. Kind of have like Great Gate vibes coming in this little bit from Crash Bandicoot 1, but I'm sure there's other levels, or maybe even like Stormy Ascent. Kind of have a Stormy Ascent kind of vibe too, just from this camera angle. Anyway, Citrus Falls last video was particularly frustrating, as I told you. Well, this level has this extra bonus danger section that too also offers a bit of trickiness to deal with. And you'll actually probably notice by the timestamp that it took me longer to get through this level than it did Citrus Falls in that take. But I assure you, combined, there's no way I spent more time in this level than I did Citrus Falls combined, playing all the build levels I did so far today. That is just tons of fun, isn't it? The fact that you have to ride the platform, but then sort of double back, because if you just kind of ride all the way through, you're going to end up getting spiked. Just tasty, super tight timing, and when you pull it off, you just look so cool doing it. Like, oh, double back, and then you still land on it. Man, super light taps of the D-pad. I probably use the D-pad for that part. I play this using an Xbox controller, and a lot of the time, even with the more modern, like Crash Bandicoot 4 that just came out, you know, I tend to play Crash Bandicoot-esque games a lot of the times using the D-pad, just because I think that analog control, or excuse me, digital control, I guess that would make that, just makes it a little bit more precise for me. All right, here we go. Settle in, folks, because this part is going to take a hot minute. And by a hot minute, I mean probably a couple minutes. This level in particular is the level that taught me that I need to pay closer attention to PsiloSybil's jump arc. And I learned it fast here because you gotta jump at just the right moment, or otherwise she is not going to clear this. See, she's not going to clear that that bed of spikes. Even if it looks pretty, you know, uneventful, just quickly jump over that. If you don't jump at almost the exact moment you would run into it, then you're pretty much not going to make the jump. And what makes it harder is that you have to time it with the spikes that are retracting up and down. Again, this, like, as I mentioned, this is actually a danger route, so to speak. This is actually completely optional. You only need to take this route if you're actually in the market for getting all the tokens, which I, after a while, decided that I was, so I decided to go for it. Look at this. I love how tricky that is, but man, it is so tricky. You have to keep jumping because spikes are going to keep popping out of that platform as you're riding it. That is so, it's so sneaky, but I love that design. It's really, really fun to deal with, even if it is a decent challenge. This was like another recording attempt, I think, even for this level too, and that danger route didn't take me nearly as long in this recording as it did on previous attempts, I assure you. And again, I cannot stress enough that nothing so far in my playthrough has added up to the amount of trial and error it took me to best Citrus Falls. See that? That right there, that jump right there that sent me into the pit, that's what I mean. That's one of those examples of what I mean by, like, I needed to learn a lot about. See, there it goes again. That's what I mean by this level in particular. I needed to learn quite a bit about PsiloSybil's jump arc. She has a very specific one, and I just needed to learn to get closer to the edge before I leapt, so that she was more likely to make it to the next platform or over spikes or what have you. That part is deceptively tricky. I made it look kind of easy, but it's not like super simple. Having to like duck into that alcove in order to get the extra tokens in there. I don't think I timed this correctly at all. Nope, I don't. I kind of remembered that, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I whiff on this part. But yeah, you know, lessons learned. Once you fail at once, you have an idea of how to potentially not fail at the next time. See, there we go. I'm actually going to point it out here with a couple of hops, but there's this collision right here that is a platform, but it's super easy to bonk. Here, see, bonk, bonk. So again, you have to like run pretty much to the edge of the platform and then jump. Otherwise, you are going to bonk off of that and get sent careening back downward. And you just happen to be right above the spike pit right there. I know that there's extra tokens off to the right, but it seems like each of these mushroom folks have like 2 different lines of dialogue, for one before and one after you save them. So I tried to actually go up here just to see what they would say. They asked for a cup of coffee, and then I realized I didn't know how to get back down, so I just plummeted. Anyway, it's okay. We're pretty much close to the end of the level now anyway, so it shouldn't matter too much. Although you'll notice there's like, what? We're near the end of the level, but there's still almost 2 minutes left of the video, roughly? Well, yeah. You'll see that once again I get screwed over on jump arcs. Coming up here in a moment. It's not that the game itself is designed bad with jump arcs. I just hadn't learned enough about them yet to kind of judge exactly when and how I should jump in certain instances. But let's actually head off to the right now. See, we got some extra gems here, or gems, tokens, whatever you want to call them. I just had a Spyro flashback for a second. They were calling them gems. Wrong PS1 franchise there, T-Trom. Anyway, yep, see, jump arc. I was almost home free to double back, and I whiffed on like the second to last, if not the last cloud platform. That's fun. See what I mean by like bonking your head on that and heading back down? If you don't time it right, you're going to end up guaranteed falling in those spikes, but they do like retract and come back. So like if you're like me, you might get lucky and land there when the spikes are, you know, retracted, so giving you a second chance to, you know, jump back without taking an extra death. Alright, let's do this for reals this time, for realsies. Fingers crossed that this is the real easiest time. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. What are words? And there it is. Alright, teacher. So then, yeah, then you go over to the mushroom friend, and they have a different line of dialogue for when you, quote-unquote, free them by getting all the tokens. Wanted some coffee, and then you talk to them again, and they say, so how about that coffee? Alright, so pretty much nothing changed there. But you know what? It's all good. Alright, that's going to do it for this level. And pretty much wraps up the video. Alright, for more of my nerdy ramblings, feel free to drop me a follow on Twitter at ttrom_actual, and if you're interested in the development of this game, also give a follow to bad_vertex. Alright, until the next video where we'll tackle even more of this PsiloSybil alpha build, have a fantastic rest of your day, stay safe, take care, and thanks for watching!